everyone here, those out in the listening audience and listening world, I guess, and they welcome you to Native Media Network. This year, this is being the 2017 edition of the Native, what do you call, Indian market here in New Mexico. It's kind of world renowned, and they feature a lot of the renowned artists from all mediums in the Indian Native world. And today, you know, I was standing out in the hallway and I happened to see my old brother, old friend of mine I've grown to respect over the years. And we say, you know, in the Indian world, you know, laughter is good medicine, you know, and good in healing. And a lot of our people, we institute that in just about everything we have in ceremony, song, dance, and entertainment world, you know. And I have to compliment the gentleman that asked him to come and say a few words today, Buddy Big Mountain. Gentleman friend I met about 40 years ago or so, and we've done a lot of projects and shows around the country, and I have to say that I compliment this man. And when we talk about laughter, you know, I have to say this is the master, Dr. Love, Dr. Medicine, he's Dr. Laughter, because, you know, I compliment him in a lot of the production shows because he always has a lot of good themes, and originally from California, so might I'd like to welcome at this time Mr. Buddy Big Mountain.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about, you know, for some of those that may not know, he's a ventriloquist, he's a comedian, he's done a lot of productions around the world, so to speak, and like I say, I'm going into Las Vegas now, and in my eyes, probably one of the best entertainers when it comes to comedy and ventriloquism. So maybe you can talk a little bit how you started, you know, how that began, the beginning years.
Well, first of all, I have to tell you that I was actually born in New Jersey. That's the other side, not California. But I think I was probably living there when you met me, and did a lot of traveling. My family were in show business. I was raised in theme parks. And while I was raised in theme parks, met a lot of people in other different areas of entertainment. That's where I met Colonel Bill Boye. He was the one that inspired me to be a ventriloquist.
That's Kenyan Records.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a couple of projects, you know. We did Skimitzen back in the era, back at the very beginning, you know, and we think about Redbone and you know, a lot of those crews from that era, you know. And Buddy was always one of the brought him into the Pan American game. We had a big production where I brought some of the best entertainers in my eyes, and of course I headlined Buddy. You know, Buddy did a super fantastic job, and maybe you can talk about, you know, some of your travels over the last 30 years now, since 20 years.
Well, let's see. I started touring in '76. Yeah, I started dancing with my family in 1957. Some of the places I've been is, well, with my family, I was in France, Italy, Germany, Holland, and Switzerland. With myself, I went back to Germany and France doing ventriloquism. Been to Japan with ventriloquism and my dancing marionettes. And mainly, I'm reminded what Charlie Hill used to tell me. He said, I'm grassroots because no matter what I did, I touched someone in our culture. Everyone knows someone that's like one of my characters. My elder, Iron Horse, or my youngster, Awesome Fox. They've taught me a lot.
He's pretty much a mentor to a lot of many of us that were in the entertainment world, experienced a lot of things that he had done in his lifetime. I think he shared for a lot of us in his mentor. I know for myself, putting a lot of productions together, I used to call Charlie off and on, you know, Don Podler, you know, a lot of the old gang, and Lolly and Pat, you know, I think about that era, you know, back in the 1970s. And, Charlie was probably one of the first comedians, you know, that came out nationally, and Buddy, in my eyes, you know, just as good, if not better. You know, I hate saying that. No discredit to Charlie, but Buddy has created his own niche, so to speak, in the entertainment world. And maybe you can talk how you got into ventriloquism. A lot of the words, I really enjoy a lot of your entertainment and the messages that you leave for the youth.
Oh yeah, a lot of the messages that I use in my performances, I've learned from our elders. Probably some from you as well. But yeah, it's things that I learn from. I try to share. There's all different ways of sharing. You can have a class, or you can have a show, and sometimes they mix together. It just when I first started, I used one of my father's lines. He said he had a educational entertainment, and he said that if you're not careful, you might learn something. So, I throw a lot of things in there. A lot of things I don't want people to know right away, like our old storytellers. You can hear the same story and told the same exact way, and you learn something different every time depending on what you're going through in your life. And that's what I go on. I count on it. I really count on it. My shows have not changed too much over the years. And some people say, I never noticed that before.
Maybe there's a message you want to leave for a lot of the youth, the future generations. When we look at entertainment, I always tend to think that dance music is kind of a universal language that everyone appreciates. What is kind of your line? What do you feel that you want to leave for a lot of the youth and the other cultures around the world?
I want the other cultures to know a little bit more about us, our culture, and our culture, our youngsters. I want them to realize that what we have, no one else does. To keep it, share it, learn it. Because there's a lot of places that forgot, like the languages. When I started learning my language, I didn't have anyone to talk to. It's a Mohawk. And since I didn't have the tapes, I always would say the words wrong inflections. And for instance, my buffalo, I called him an Onkwe. And while I was up in Canada, a Mohawk woman come up and she was laughing. She asked, "What did you call your buffalo?" I said, "An Onkwe." She laughed a little bit, And then she goes, and what did you say it meant? And I said, "Medicine." She laughed a little more, and then she wrote it down for me. And an Onkwe is not medicine, it's underwear. And she taught me how to say it right. Oh no, spelled the same, but different inflections. So, for the longest time, I was calling him underwear. So I guess that's why we didn't get along. I don't know.
You're going to be performing here this weekend?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm with Samsville, Sam's Hill, right next door.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I won't be doing any ventriloquism. I will have my fancy dancer and a traditional dancer. And they're going to go back and forth doing exhibition dancing.
Some of you that may perhaps have some upcoming celebrations, looking for entertainment, I really highly recommend, do touch base with Buddy. And it's been a while since we've kind of touched base, but I do highly recommend him because a lot of the messages, and definitely as an entertainer, I mean, he keep the kids under attack and what have you. And but maybe you can leave your website or let them know how to contact you.
Well, my website's not up anymore. Well, it is.
How many
You just
wives
can't
ago
read.
was that?
See?
Oops.
Yep. But I have an agent in Canada, and I have contacting I have a contact in California, not California. You got anything about Cali? In Las Vegas, where I am right now. I'm actually doing a lot of marionettes on Fremont Street, Indian dancing.
Fremont? Oh,
Yes.
Right downtown? The old
Right downtown. It's very different. I think more people have seen me there than all the shows I've done all my life. Because there's always new ones coming in. It is very interesting. I have the same questions. I have people ask me if I'm a real Indian. They ask me how long I've been an Indian. too. I'm a really light person. So yeah, so when I start getting it from them, I say, well, I'm a light guy, not a white guy, and you know, if they do take the time to talk to me, I can explain. You know, since I am part Welsh from Wales, and my grandmother.
Maybe you can leave a good story or good
Story.
yeah, leave a good story for the youth. Comedy, something, a good joke. We need a good. You really hear a good Indian joke.
Oh man, I'm not even good at jokes. My characters are. I don't remember them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, someone told me my memory's in my right hand. Yeah, but you know, I know there's a lot of things about bullying in that, and you know, what I had done when I was growing up, and I was, we were raised on res or anything like that. We were in public school and that, and until people knew what my name was, I was like a white guy, and it was okay, you know, because I didn't get picked on or anything. But as soon as they knew my last name was Big Mountain, you know, I always get that woo 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 and all that stuff. But I had to start thinking, do I want to be mad all my life, or do I want to, how am I going to deal with this? Because I was angry a lot. So I decided I would, in my mind, you know, I would, well, one thing, the old cowboy and Indian movies. Anyone with a cowboy hat were Indians, and all the Indians were the cowboys. We won a lot that time. You know, just change your way of thinking. I think that's what we have to do, change our way of thinking. You know, if they think they're putting you down and you believe it, then you're going to be put down. But if they try to put you down and you don't believe it, you know yourself. Be totally strong with yourself. So when they say, oh, Indians are no good, or whatever they're going to say, you already know. It just bounces off of you, because you know, if you have to have very strong self-confidence, which a lot of us don't have, and I have it sometimes, but not always. I notice when I'm dancing my characters, and I notice there's natives walking up, I kind of switch from Michael Jackson to a drum song. Yeah.
Yeah, some of you out there, if you haven't seen Buddy's show, you're going to be entertained, I think, educated, and like I said, do highly recommend him. And again, I hope that you know, wish you nothing but success down the road.
Thank you.
You know, we all bump into each other every 20 years.
At least 10.
Yeah. But now, how can we get in touch with him?
Okay, you can call my wife. I have kept her for a long time. No, actually, it's the other way around. She kept me. The number is, it's a Las Vegas number. It's 702-379-2685. I memorized it because I call her a lot.
You don't have to check
Yeah.
on
No. I have all different numbers. I have.
Oh, okay.
Who's that guy?
Okay, well, again, it's definitely a pleasure to see Buddy again, and do encourage a lot of you haven't seen him. Do check him out. He will be performing here at the Indian Market. And,
from 4 to 8 today. Tomorrow I'll start around 10.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And look forward to seeing you again down the road. You know, hopefully it's another 10, 12 years. You know?
Yeah, because I might start looking old.
Yeah. But a pleasure. Again, Buddy Big Mountain.
Always.
Oh,
Thank you.